If you spent $6,200 and you made $24,000, I'd be like, good job. You did double that.
I'm the best dressed homeless person you've ever seen. I've only been back to Australia 3 times in the last 5 years.
Where do you live right now?
I don't live anywhere, that's what I mean.
Oh, so you're just here, dude, that's crazy.
I've been doing that for 5 years.
Jake Divliak, founder of Recruit Ready Fitness, built a business that helps people look and feel their best. But now he's hit a ceiling.
The business has to be big enough that you can hire staff to do the work for you. Because the thing is, if you're traveling and you don't have a big staff and you're not working, the business will go down.
In this session, Tanner breaks down human versus AI setters.
The whole premise was like, you can fire your whole staff and it's better and it's less management, et cetera, et cetera.
Fixes the weak points in Jake's funnel and application.
The only thing I don't like is the video. I'm here to tighten everything up I can, okay? So possibly take that out.
Exposes the bottlenecks holding the business back.
Let's say this was dating and you're like, dude, I need to go on 100 dates. I'm like, cool, how many girls do you actually go? I asked out 8. I'm like,
that's part of my issue. I go on too many dates from too many Brazilians and Colombians in my life, man.
So, yeah.
And you can take these same strategies and plug them into your own business.
I'm just gonna go through every little thing. Mm-hmm. The setter, that's pretty cheap. Where's a setter from, if you don't mind me asking?
Philippines.
Okay. When I say VM, like they're a message starter. They just like send the first message. A setter is doing the full thing. If he's good enough to do both, great. But because it's so cheap, that's what makes me kind of like, are they?
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say. Like honestly,
okay.
I think she does a decent job. Like you can go and get someone from the States who's done like a setter course, and some of them I've had in the past have done a worse job. Mm-hmm. But what I actually have right now is I have an AI installed into my Instagram, and I have that setter, and they kind of work pretty well like together.
Pause on that. The AI, is it just like, does it comment, reply, or does it do the full?
It's a full thing. It's a company called BB9. I don't know if you heard of them. There's like support that comes with the subscription. Yep. So I'm in their Slack channel. If I have questions like, hey, the bot did this. What can we do? Can we change this? So
but it takes time basically.
Yeah, you got to train it up. Yeah.
Okay. I've been working on building one for the last year and a half. And the goal for me, and this is just for you to like think in business strategy. Yeah. The goal for me is day one, it's like Tanner level. And then we can customize it to you in the sense of like, you might say, like, for example, you're not going to say this, but you're like, what's up, queen? I don't say that. Right. So like the bot will take you on. But what I've seen basically with most bots is it's very general. So it's not that good. Or number two, you have to customize it, which is better. But like you said, it takes 2 to 3 months. And so anyways, just for you, it's like, that's great if it works well. But if it doesn't, let's say you rank it like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, you might still want to hold on to a human element, or at least have them in there a little bit.
So that's why, like right now, the human element and the bot is kind of working well because the bot's on there 24/7, so it's always responding.
And then you can turn it off and stuff like that.
Yeah, turn it on and off, and the setter, like if she's online and the bot gets right up to like that last question right before booking a call, sometimes she'll take over at that last bit.
Have you tracked, sorry to keep cutting you up, have you tracked her numbers versus the bots like separately to see which is actually better? So for example, like for our setters, we'll be like, how many hours worked, how many bookings per hour? And then like tracked it against the bot hypothetically. Have you tried that or not really?
I haven't, because I've never had just like, since I got the bot, it's always been her and the bot. So like I'd need to like tell her to be like, don't work for like a few days, or else I can.
Okay, so that's something again, like we're gonna do tactical, but strategically, I would at least see that, because ultimately, like if you're gonna use both, that's fine.
Well,
but
if I didn't have to pay her, then it'd be even better.
Right. So for example, one of my software is gonna launch soon. We'll see if it's good, but it's called Trainer Chat. The whole premise was like, you can fire your whole staff and it's better and it's less management, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, the only reason I'm bringing it up, it doesn't matter what you use. What does matter is like, you can at least see, like I would at least try to see like your VA or setter, whatever you want to call them, versus that, just to get an idea. But right now, if you're using both, it's kind of like mixed.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You make a good point. Yeah, for sure.
Because at the end of the day, you just kind of want to see what's working in your business so you can scale. Because at the end of the day too, if the AI is better, or you like see it, you like, let's say, she books, I don't know, 3 calls and this books 6 calls. You're like, okay, well, maybe I don't need her. Or it's like, hey, let it do its thing, but only come in at the end, or like whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for
sure. So you're paying $1,200 a month there. That's fine.
Yeah. The other thing is just on that topic, like, the bot can't send the initial message. It can only like respond.
Right.
So so I run a follower funnel as one of my main strategies.
Right.
So we still need the appointment setter to send that initial message. And then like when they respond, then
and then maybe that's all you do. It's just putting those ideas in your head. Like I'd have to see more, but
yeah, like reduce our hours. So
social media manager, 500 a month, super cheap. Assistant coach, do you pay per client or salary?
Per client, I pay.
Okay, so as long as usually what I say for a coach is as long as the per client pay does not go above 5,000, that's fine. Once it's above 5,000, usually I'll switch them to salary, and then I give them 10% to upgrade. So for example, let's say you're paying per client and it was 6,000 per month. Well, at that point, I'm kind of like, well, you might as well just give them a salary if you know the pay per client will be above that. Because to them, a lot of times they'll take it because they're like, hey, it's a set fee, so it doesn't fluctuate.
Yeah.
But it's cheaper for you. And then you give them the upgrade of, I give them upgrade potential because that's like, at the end of the day, it's like, if a coach does a good job, they're going to get re-signs and reviews and testimonials. So like, I want to give them the upside. If you don't, they're not really incentivized to do a good job. Like they may do a good job, but it's just human nature to kind of get like, complacent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all.
I actually just fired her like last week because she was doing a bad job.
So who's taking over?
I need to get some.
Okay, so just to be frank with you, you're at 18K a month. Like you're right at the tipping point where I'd say like you need a coach, but you're also like where you could do it all.
Yeah.
So here's the downside.
For right now, I'll probably do it until I get like another.
So here's what I'd say. Is like if you're gonna pay per client, you got to find someone who you're like, hey, I know this is not your full-time job. That's fine. But like, I still expect you to do a good job and because that's the downside is like, because it's not full-time, the reality is like, no matter what they say, it's part-time, which means they get part-time effort. So what I would do if you're cool with it, if you can handle it, you handle it for now. But then once you get a little bigger, then you bring someone in. Okay.
Yeah.
Like to give you an example, my first assistant coach who was part-time was my brother. Like there's no issue, but he's my brother. Right. Mm-hmm. So what's your goal though, bro? So like, let's backtrack. Revenue wise, what would you like to make?
Like from the fitness business
just or in general? Like in general, like what would you like to make?
I would love to show myself that I could make 50K a month consistently for like 6 months and then get to like 100K a month. Okay.
This is your website. No issue. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on that. It's just your website. This is your VSL. The only thing I'm going to say on this is usually I'd look on it on a cell phone. So this is okay right here. But the only thing I don't like is the video is technically below the fold. Below the fold just means when I read
first fold.
Right. So usually what I would do is either take some of this text out or make it smaller to pull this up. Mm-hmm. I like that the button's here, right? So I can click that and book a call. But I also like it if the video in a perfect world, it's like button, video, button, or something like that. So it's all above the fold. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's a small change. I'm just stuff for you to think about. Let's just go through your application. First name, last name, email. That's fine. Okay. Phone number, right? Facebook, IG handle. Okay. This is okay. I just I think if you have this question, you don't really need this question. It's not a huge deal, but I'm just thinking like, are you?
That's because, I work with aspiring and current serving military police first responders. So it's like.
But can't they just click other and then put their occupation there? Like you could put other, put your occupation below and they put it there.
Yeah.
Not a huge deal.
Yeah. I guess that's just like to see do they actually have a job or are they?
Yeah. So it's not a huge deal, but again, I'm here to tighten you up. I'm here to tighten everything up I can. Okay. So possibly take that out, put other, and then you could put in parentheses, put your job below and then they put it there. Small thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. What's your goals? What's this? Okay. This one's fine. Usually I don't like multiple choice, but this one's technically fine because it's probably it's one of these issues. This is open-ended when I say this. Open-ended. That's an open-ended question. That's an open-ended question. I don't love this one here. Because again, if you're not having issues, leave it. But here's what usually I'll see. If you say, so this question, this is not another quick fix program. If you feel it's a fit, will you invest financially yourself? Great question. But the problem is almost everybody's going to say yes. I don't know if this happens to you, but you probably get on a call and you're like, well, I thought you said this. And well, I did. But so you're getting a bullshit answer. So what I usually like to do is leave this open-ended because what you'll get is they'll say, it depends. Maybe. We'll see. Well, Jupiter is orbiting the sun. You're like, and then what you do is you can then say, hey, I saw it. So here's what I do. Hey, I saw your application look pretty good, Jake. But I did see on the financially investing, you said orbiters, Jupiter, is looping around the sun. Can you explain that to me? Yeah. And then you get context and either leave the call because they give you a better answer or you cancel it. I don't feel like this. Again, this may not be an issue, but in my mind, I guarantee probably 80% of the people pick yes. And you hardly ever get a no, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Just think of it this way. On applications, if they're not going to give you a truthful answer, it doesn't really tell you anything.
Yeah.
You're looking for the truth. And so usually I like open-ended because if you say, what's your favorite fruit? And it's open-ended, that's going to be better than if I say apple, banana, orange, whatever, and then you just pick from that. Okay. This one, same thing. I'd leave it open-ended. That's a small thing. This one I'd also leave open-ended. Like, so there's really not huge things here. You ask all the right questions from what I see. I would just leave everything open-ended. And the reason I say that too is like the only benefit of multiple choice is if you're getting so much volume and you have a big team and they're just like, bro, like we're having to follow up so much. So like there was a point in time in my company, dude, we were getting literally 100 applications a day. It was insane. And they're like, bro, like, you know, we need some logic to help us with you. If you're only getting, let's say, one every other day or something like that, it's not really helpful. So I would just make it open-ended. Okay. So like the laptop lifestyle or digital nomad or whatever you want to say, that lifestyle exists. But the problem is I would say most people, they want to make, like you said, 50K. Most people want to make 50 to 100,000 a month at least. And then to get to that level and be able to travel, the business has to be big enough that you can hire staff to do the work for you. Because the thing is, if you're traveling and you don't have a big staff and you're not working, the business will go down. Yeah. And that's the danger of staying too small because it's like, yeah, you don't have a lot of like management, but you also like can't take time off. So this whole week, just so you know, before today, this whole week I was at an event 12 hours a day all week. I had my event. I had to go high level event. Dude, I couldn't do any work. So all the things that happened in my business was because I have a team. Yeah. Right. So I think the first thing you have to decide is like, okay, like let's just do 50K a month. Let's go through both of those scenarios and then 100K a month. Okay. So here's realistically, and I'll put what you have to do and then, team. Okay. So if you're at 50K a month, realistically, I'll highlight these. So make this a little simpler. Okay. So realistically, if you have to do, or you do 50K a month, what do you have to do? You have to do the sales. Okay. You have to manage the setters, and coaches. And then like, you know, probably like shoot ads, run the ads. I'd say that's probably it. So the first thing I think you need to ask yourself is like, okay, do I want to travel the world and I'm okay running the ads, managing, et cetera, et cetera. If you're not, then we probably have to get to 100K a month because at 100K a month and the team will do like the messaging, you know, the coaching, that's pretty much what they're going to do. At 100K a month, you're basically doing the same thing. So I guess we can just delete that. So the thing you have to think is like, regardless of you do 50K a month or 100K a month, what you're going to probably have to do is shoot the ads, run the ads, manage the team and sales. Managing the team's pretty easy if your team's good. So if you hire a bunch of retards, you're going to hate your life. But if they're good, it's like, you know, if I had a sales meeting a day, I do one, like if I had a sales guy, you don't need a sales guy. Well, I'll tell you about at 100K a month, you could potentially hire a sales guy if you wanted. Yeah. And then it's like, you know, running the ads would take you 20 minutes a day plus managing a team. That's probably an hour a day of work. Okay. If you're doing this, that's going to be, you know, potentially like, let's say, I'd probably say 4 hours of work a day because you're going to take the sales calls, et cetera. Yeah. So I think in your head, it's good to kind of know that. Now, once we know that, we just need to backtrack your results. So let's say typically in a month you were spending, well, give me an average. Like what do you spend usually for what do you make when you're doing a boosted funnel? Do you have like, and usually the way I'd figure that out is like look at 90 days of data and get the average. So
yeah,
it's
well,
like
go back to that follower tracker sheet that you had open.
So if I'm looking at this, it's like July, you spent 2 Gs or 1,500, you made 10. Okay. August, you spent 3 Gs and you made 30. Way good. Okay. September, you spent 2 Gs and you made 10. If I'm asking, it's like, yo, what's up with the up and down on these months? What is your rationale for that?
It's because I'm doing two things at once. I'm doing the other.
So you're just not working.
Yeah, I'm just not working. Yeah,
So bro, here's a cool part. You spent $6,000 to make 50, which is fucking crazy, by the way. If you spent $6,200 and you made 24,000, I'd be like, good job. You did double that. So you had an 8x return. Let's just do 50K goal and then we'll do a 100K goal. So here's probably realistically what you could do. And this is just a fitness offer. Okay. So let's just say you can get a 5x return. So let's say you want to do a 50K goal. Okay. You'd have to do $10,000 to spend, right? Let's just say you get $3 per follow. Okay. Let's say your cost per call even goes up. So we'll say $150 per call. Okay. And then your close rate is fucking crazy. I mean, your close rate is crazy. It's like, So I think
on average, it's like 70% probably.
Yeah, and the people who show up, obviously, is what you're saying. So like you have 10 calls. Okay. So, I mean, realistically, dude, it's like this probably would get you to 50,000 a month. And
I should do more work. I know. Let's say.
Right. So, right. And well, it's not even you doing more work though, too. It's just like yes, for now, but like you just have to be willing to build the team. Like if you're not going to get that first, you have to get the revenue there. So you have to do the work. Then when you get there, you can hire a coach.
Get the team.
You can actually pay the coach better. You can get a setter. Right. Or you can get more setters if you need to. Really, basically what I'm saying is like you're your own bottleneck, because I always make funny jokes with this. So just bear with me. But people will say like, let's say this was dating and you're like, dude, I need to go on 100 dates. I'm like, cool. How many girls do you actually like? Yo, I asked out 8. And I'm like,
no, that's part of my issue. I go on too many dates from too many Brazilians and Colombians in my life, man.
Yeah. So, okay. So in this scenario, the issue is like, you're not even giving yourself a chance to win. So, and now look, this is only based on 3 months. So August, you spent basically $3,000 and made 30. Now, great. That's a 10X. But guess what? We're looking at your last 3 months, because even if it was like a worse month, based on this, I'm like, okay, you had 3X returns and then you had 8X returns. So let's just say you had a 5. That's in the middle. Well, if you had a 5X return, it's like, okay, if you even had a like worse or average month, you could get there if you spent that much. But what that's going to probably take at 50,000 a month is you're going to need probably 2 VAs instead of 1. You're going to need like 1 to 2 setters possibly, right? And that's if you want to get rid of your setter VA right now. VA would be, they just start messages only, and then you have someone responding. At that level, you probably would need both, because it'll be too much to do both. You can't have a VA send all the messages and respond at 10K a month. 3K a month you can, but 10K is too much. And then you'd probably need like 1 coach. Okay, so at 100K, to be frank, the only difference would be like 2 VAs. You probably would have 2 setters for sure. And then you'd probably have like 2 coaches. And then maybe at that point, if you want, you could have a sales rep, but you could still take the calls. Yeah. At 150,000 a month, that's probably when you need a rep. So the difference between this goal and this goal is like, that's probably 10K spend. And it could be better, but I just like to give you conservative numbers, right? Because if I tell you this, it's like, and it's better, you're happy. But if I tell you this and it's way worse, you're pissed. So $20,000 spend, like this is what you have to do to get in the ballpark. That's just for the fitness offer, because based on your numbers, bro, there's no issue. This right here, just so we're on the same page, you usually want this to be $1 to $2 per follow. Okay. Yeah. The calls, I want them to be 1 to 150. Well, guess what? You're already at 100. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, and here's the other thing. It's always revenue supersedes anything else. So here, if you're making 50 G's, right? I don't care if the cost per call is $700, because who gives a if you're if you're closing every deal. That doesn't usually happen. Yeah. But if you're spending 6,200 and you make 50, no one's going to say like, well, what's your cost per call? And you're like, oh, it's 700. Like, dude, stop. It's like, dude, he spent 6,000, made 50. Yeah. So the good news is even though this cost per follow is slightly high, because your cost per call is so low, it's like, I don't really care. Like, I'm like, bro, just don't change anything. I think this is what you would need to do to get there. Your problem, based on what you're saying, is good. It's an easy fix. It's like, you have to either commit to work more for a short time and build your team. Yeah. And the thing is, once you build the team and the team's decent, like if you could really trust these people to do the job, you can go right back to your like off or whatever.
Yeah, I've been traveling full time for 5 years. Like I make a joke that I'm the best dressed homeless person you've ever seen. I've only been back to Australia 3 times in the last 5 years. It's crazy. Like,
is that where you're originally from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Australia, yeah.
Where do you live right now?
I don't live anywhere. That's what I mean.
Oh, so you're just here. Dude, that's crazy.
I've been doing that for 5 years.
Oh,
like
shit.
I spend like 3 months in each city.
I didn't know if you were like, okay, so it just so happened you're in the same area as me.
No, I was in Austin, Texas for like a business event. And then I saw it and I was like, all right, I'll go to Dallas.
Bro.
That's why I was like, can't reschedule, you know?
Yeah.
And I rented a Dodge Hellcat and drove it from Austin to here, which was fun. I wanted a cool car to drive. But no, man, I've literally been like 3 months in each city or country for 5 years. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, it's been freaking awesome, and no regrets. But I'm coming to a point where I do think I want to slow. I'm a little bit tired, man. It gets tiring. I mean, you know, and so I think 2026 for me is going to be like a locked in year where I'm not going to move as much. Maybe I'll do like 6 months in one spot, 6 months in another. But I really want to like make some sacrifices and just lock the in. Well, because honestly, that's what I did when I started my online business.
It doesn't, and look, like if that's what you want to do, that's great. I'm just trying to point out like what you're doing right now would have been way more, I don't want to say way more fun, but imagine if you had this team and you were doing what you did the last 5 years. It's like you would have made more.
I mean, I've still had fun, but it's been stressful.
Right, because like it's all dependent on your, now here's my question, and then we can go to wherever you want. Did you kind of know this coming into this, or like did you get confirmation? Like, did you think there's another issue? Because based on your numbers, there really isn't an issue. The issue is just like you basically are either not working, which you have to because you don't have a big enough team, or number two, you haven't built the team. So where I'm at and what's nice with like what I am grateful about my career is I've had a team as big as 100. Now my team is smaller, like it's like 40. But the reality is like with 40 people, I'm not doing any of the like day-to-day grunt work. I don't like, hey, we have an ad issue. I tell them how to fix it. They do it though. They set up the pixel. They do the ads. That's kind of what I think you need to get to because you're obviously very competent. And the fact you've been doing this for so long and you've made money consistently, that should give you a lot of like confidence. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
But now it's about you getting other people to do it for you.
Systemizing it.
Yeah, bro. Okay. So go into whatever else you have. I don't have anything else based on this. So go into whatever you got.
Yeah. What's your opinion on, let's say, having a few more products in the mix? Like, obviously I've got my, like 6 months for 1,500, 3 months for 1,500, 6 months for 2,500, 12 months for 5K. That's the normal program. Okay. But then like, what about doing like either like a school community, like $99 a month or doing like a self-study course that I sold for like a once-off payment of like $297 and what's your thoughts on all that kind of stuff?
Okay. So I just keep this really logical, right? Okay, so what's making you successful and you're doing, let's say 20K a month on average is selling your high ticket offer. So in theory, if you're like, hey, Tanner, how do I get to 50? It's like, I want you to do more of what's working. So let's say instead you're like, hey, I'm going to do a school community and sell it for 99. It's like, well, could you do that?
I don't want to stop doing the high ticket, but like, how could I?
So it depends how you're going to do that. So for example, I just want to give you some examples. Sometimes, let's say you had a sales rep and a sales rep, like he's not you, so he's probably not going to care as much. He's maybe not as good. And so he gets an objection on the call and then he's like, well, we have this $99 per month thing, and they start selling that. So here's the downside. It's like, if it's a last resort and you're good at sales. So let's just say you're 70% closer. You're really fucking good. So if someone genuinely can't buy and you've tried all your objection handling, et cetera, and then you sold that, sure, but is it going to move the needle? Well, probably not, because reality is like, even in a month, if you take 20 calls and let's say 5 people buy, which would be everyone who like basically doesn't close, it's like, oh my God, I made another $500 a month. Yeah. It's like, it's not going to change anything. So what I would usually do in this scenario is only one of two things. It's either don't worry about it because it doesn't really matter, or number two, you downsell it on the call last resort, or if they don't close, if you set up automations, you can set up automations where it's like, did not close, did not close. Then they get emails and text automations like, hey, thanks for showing up to the call. I know it was a little out of your price range. Here's the link for this. But the reality is like 2 things usually happen. 1, you don't sell a lot. And then 2, the ones you do sell, it doesn't move the needle anyway. So it's like, what's going to move the needle? What's going to be the difference between you and 20 and 50K a month? You're going to do probably, how much is your price point? What's your price point?
2,500.
Okay. So the real answer is like, you sold, 20 more deals or 10 to 20 more deals. It's like, it's not like, oh my God, I did this $99 a month. So,
so the low tickets, you think it's,
I think it's a waste of time, bro.
It's better.
The only people that make a difference for is like, it's like people who don't even want to get into high tickets. So like if I was Kim Kardashian's agent and I said, yo, Kim, let's run a $99 a month, school thing. You do 2 calls a month. She has such a big audience. Yeah. That makes sense. And on top of that, nobody gets pissed off, and like she's a very well-known figure. So it's like she probably doesn't want to do high ticket. But in your case, the high ticket's working. And it's like you're taking your eye off the ball of what's making the most money to do this little bullshit. Now, it may not take you a lot of time. It may not make
it's good to have it in the background there as like a downsell.
If you want,
don't put it in.
But like realistically, even if you went to 100K a month, I bet per month you make like an extra $1,000 off of it. Yeah. And it's like it'd be so negligible, you literally would not give a flying. And so to me, I'm just like, so basically what I'm saying is like, even if you didn't do that, it won't make any difference.
So, okay. And so, all right, what about like What's your thoughts on like a free community as a way to like bring people in as a lead magnet?
Okay, so you could do that. Okay, so it depends how you run your ads. Right now, when you run the ads to the DM, do you push them to an opt-in page or anything, or how does that work?
I've got like a VSL that I created, so it'd be like VSL book a call, but yeah, basically
you don't get any info.
No, name, number, email.
You do. Yeah. Where do you get that? Is that in the form?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go high level.
Okay, but they have to book a call to get it, right?
Well, they have to opt in to watch the VSL. So like,
maybe it's on here. Is it?
No, that funnel's not set up right now. But basically, it'd be like opt-in page. Watch. To watch the video, opt in.
So here's what I would usually do in your scenario. So always think of it this way. Usually, the reason you tell a beginner, you're not a beginner, but just stick with me. The reason you tell a beginner to go to high ticket is because if you go to low ticket, you actually, to get low ticket or be profitable, you have to sell high ticket on the back end. And then remember, some people who come in, they either don't buy anything else or they're not serious about buying anything else. So you're kind of taking your eye off what makes the most money for the least. So what I would do for you is the whole point of a free school group would be they came through your funnel and they talked to you and watched your VSL, but they still didn't buy anything. So then they go into long-term nurture. So here's what I would do is they opt in. You're pushing really hard to your VSL via DMs, text, retargeting ads, whatever. And then let's say day 3 or 4, then you're like, by the way, I also have this free group. They come into the free group and then that's where you have people long-term that come in. So like I had my event this week. Dude, there's been people like, yo, bro, I've been watching your shit for like a year. There's a guy who's like, I've been watching your shit for 5 years. I'm like, 5 years, bro. So you do have some people don't buy right away, but I don't want to put it up front because here's what could happen. They opt in and it's like, oh, here's my free group. They just go in the free group. Oh, that's plenty. So I do like to push them towards that, but I don't like to do it until maybe like 3 or 4 days after via text and email. And that's it. Like I'm not pushing really hard to it because.
So there's tons of different strategies as far as the front end offer goes. Like what do you see is working best? Is it like just like direct offer or like VSL or like?
Yeah. So for most of my fitness clients, what works the best is like kind of what you're doing is like you'd want to the boosted posts, right? And the reason boosted posts work great is it's really cheap to get a lot of volume.
Yeah.
But then you have to message everyone. That's the downside, right? Usually, you have to start the conversation, etc.
But with a setter and AI, it's easier.
Right. Yeah. But it's like, that's the hardest part. If you can do it, it's great.
Yeah.
The next thing that I've seen work the best is like DM ads where the trade-off is they come straight to you, but now the cost is usually 5 times more. You're paying $10 a lead instead of, $2 a follow. And you message them. And then when they come into the DM, if there's a link that fires, it pushes them to a VSL. Now I do have some clients that like, they do really well with the 5-day challenge, or I do have some clients who just push straight to page ads. But on average, like if I took 80% of my fitness clients, what I see work the best is either boosted posts. I have some clients that are doing 150,000 a month, boosted posts only. It's crazy. Boosted posts or DM ads, and then they're pushing to a VSL from there. The reason that also works the best usually is like it's the easiest. It takes the least amount of effort.
No opt-in, just like
no. So they're still an opt-in. Like you get their information, but like
name, number, email.
Yeah. So they do it one of two ways. You can either
send the opt-in link in the DMs,
or which is the easiest. Or there is ways where you can ask for their name, email, phone number in the DMs, and it scrapes via Zapier. But that's a little bit more technical. So my team will do that where we just ask that, and then it scrapes and it goes right into it. But yeah, that's been the best. The only reason I would do something different, because you're having success, the only reason I would do something different is if it's not working, because the reality is like everything else you do will be more work. 5-day challenge is more work. A webinar, or a live webinar or something will be more work. What you're doing right now is working.
Yeah.
So anytime I coach someone or I coach a business owner, if they come to me and say, hey, I'm doing 150,000 a month and it's really weird, I don't give a it's working, don't change it. What you'll get a lot of coaches, they'll say, oh yeah, you should do it this way. But it's like what you're doing is already working. So I don't want to change everything, because the only thing that we've basically established is like, you haven't hired enough staff and you're not working enough. It's like, so there is no problem. Now, if you were showing me these numbers, your numbers are like all fucking out of whack and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And honestly, these aren't even super accurate numbers, but it gives you a rough idea.
Yeah. And so in short, it's like if you're doing a boosted post, you don't need anything set up.
Yeah.
If you're doing a DM ad, you just fire a link. It either goes to the opt-in, or if you're not going to do that, you need to ask like name, email, phone number, and it scrapes over, and then you send the VSL link. But probably in your situation, I would just do the opt-in. That's the easiest. And then that way, if they don't buy right then you have emails and texts on the back end, like 7 to 14 day email sequence. You can push them to your Facebook group, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
We're done?
Dude, yeah, thanks for driving.